Bij de zware aardbeving die dinsdag het zuiden van Mexico trof, zijn meer dan 248 doden gevallen. Het is de tweede zware aardbeving in korte tijd in het land. De meeste slachtoffers vielen in Mexico-stad, waar de aardbeving veel schade veroorzaakte. President Enrique Peña Nieto maakte bekend dat in Mexico-stad zeker 44 gebouwen zijn ingestort. Daarnaast zijn er gaslekken, staan panden in brand en liggen er nog meer mensen onder het puin. In de hoofdstad zijn 117 lichamen geborgen en werden tientallen mensen levend onder het puin gehaald. Bij de aardbeving van 2 weken terug zijn 90 doden gevallen. Sinds de zware aardbeving zijn al zo'n 800 naschokken geteld.
In Mexico City, a desperate search to save lives. This used to be a school, but the magnitude 7.1 quake reduced it to rubble. Bodies have been recovered, but children and teachers are missing. Rescuers worked into the night. The woman in red walking out after being asked to identify a body.
It's a school in the south of the city, a private school where a significant part of the building collapsed. Unfortunately, small children from year 1, year 2 of primary school, some from the secondary school have died.
The quake struck at lunchtime on Tuesday, causing thousands to run to safety. The terror and devastation captured in the moments afterwards. And Mexicans assessed the wreckage. Across the capital, dozens of buildings have collapsed. And the extent of the disaster is becoming clear. Homes destroyed, flats and businesses badly damaged, 2 million people without electricity. And a nation again in mourning after another major earthquake shook the country earlier this month. Phone lines are also down, and smokers have been warned not to light up because of gas leaks. Outside the capital, many other towns and cities report widespread damage. The epicenter of the quake was in Puebla State, about 120 kilometers from the capital. In Jojotla, more than a dozen were killed.
Well, there are 55 total deaths reported, but we want to cross-check our data to see if there are more dead people. 16 of them are from Jojotla specifically.
Earlier in the day in Mexico City, some people had taken part in drills on the anniversary of another devastating earthquake 32 years ago. The 19th of September will now be a day of remembrance for not just one, but 2 disasters. And rescuers fear the number of families mourning the dead will rise. Duncan Crawford, Al Jazeera.
Good day. We're coming on the air to update you on a major earthquake that has rocked central Mexico, a 7.1 magnitude quake that has caused some buildings to collapse in and around Mexico City. The quake itself centered about 75 miles southeast of Mexico City. There are active searches going on right now for those who've been trapped. There is a rising death toll. We'll just leave it to say right now in the dozens of reported dead, but that toll expected to climb. We want to go to Miguel Almaguer right now in our Los Angeles newsroom, who's monitoring the latest. Miguel?
Yeah, Lester, a state of emergency certainly underway in Mexico as the president there tweets that this disaster is still unfolding. As you mentioned, we saw several buildings that have collapsed. We've seen plumes of smoke in the air and a death toll that will no doubt rise. We know thousands of people have poured out and flooded the streets here as fear spreads across this region. As you know, there was an 8.1 earthquake in Mexico earlier this month. And of course, today's quake comes on the 32-year anniversary of a massive earthquake in Mexico City that killed some 10,000 people. As a matter of fact, many folks were drilling or having drills in preparations for a major earthquake just hours before this 7.1 quake was triggered. Lester, we also know that they're evacuating hospitals and schools. Even the airport is shut down here as many people scramble to safety at this hour, Lester.
And we saw the images of people fleeing their offices and now crowded in the streets. There's reports of the smell of gas. What about, you may have noted, the airports? They're closed at this point?
Yeah, the major airports into Mexico City have been suspended. All flights have been suspended. Some flights still show as leaving on time, but we know that airport officials say no flights will be coming in as they need to inspect the runways there. We should also mention, Lester, that Mexico City is built on lake bed soil, which we're told by geologists can actually magnify an earthquake. So we may have had a 7.1 quake, but it certainly probably felt a lot stronger to many people there. Seismologist Lucy Jones also tells us that Mexico City should brace for several major major aftershocks that will likely come in the wake of this major quake, Lester.
Only to complicate any search and rescue operation there. We can tell you that President Trump is monitoring the situation in Mexico City. He put out a tweet just a short time ago saying, "God bless the people of Mexico City. We are with you and will be there for you." And we are all watching now to see this play out. Again, the death reports are coming and the casualties from different parts of central Mexico. And right now they are as high as 49, but we'll continue to watch that number. And you're looking at scenes here outside buildings that have collapsed. No telling how many people were inside those buildings. A massive rescue operation underway. Even, as Miguel points out, they fear further aftershocks. We'll have a lot more on this when we see you tonight on NBC Nightly News. Also an update on Hurricane Maria bearing down as a Category 5 storm right now toward Puerto Rico. We'll get a live report from there when we see you a bit later on. For now, I'm Lester Holt in New York. Good day.